What comes first on your mind every time you hear the Queen's Gambit? Is it the series, Bet Harmon, or the chess opening? Speaking of series, we need the season 2. Come on, producer. Come on, Bet Harmon. Push it. We need the season 2 of Queen's Gambit. But let's talk about first the chess opening. So it benefits your game. D4, D5, C4. If you want to take the challenge, you may capture the C4. That is Queen's Gambit accepted. You may go with Slav by moving C6 or Knight F6 martial defense. Let's go with declined. E6. Knight C3. White can go to Knight F3 or G3. That's totally fine. Knight F6 development. Bishop G5 pinning the knight. Bishop E7 making sure if your piece is pinned, deal with that immediately. You don't want any harm because of the pin. So E3, castling, Knight F3, and here black has a lot of choices. H6, the usual one, C6, B6, or Knight BD7. But let's go with Knight BD7 instead. And then Rook C1, controlling the C file and making sure after of some trade on C and D, this Rook will, just one pawn away to control more the C file. C6, so black is making sure that the B7 and C6 will stop the Rook getting the file more. And Bishop D3, capture. Knight D5, Bishop takes, Queen takes. You may capture also that using your knight, but to make sure that your queen is active. And for the potential rook connection, you have to capture with your queen. Castling, knight captures, pawn, E5. So if you don't want to break the center immediately, you don't like that kind of aggressiveness, you want just to prepare your pieces before you push your E5, you may go B6, then Bishop B7 controlling this long diagonal. Now let's go with E5, Queen B3, your queen may land here on C2 or E2, but let's go with B3 controlling the diagonal at the same time putting some pressure here on B7 pawn. E4, Knight D2, and Knight F6. It is very important to understand that this bishop needs space. At the same time, this queen is not a babysitter. So by moving your knight D7 to F6 will help the queen to have some less responsibility defending this E4. You don't want your queen to be a babysitter. So, okay, queen, you may go anywhere you want. Just go back. Alright, A4, this is called minority attack. Why? Because 1, 2 versus 1, 2, 3. B6, preventing any further push. And this is the 15th move of the game. You may study this opening more. You may use this one for white and for black. Of course, if we will continue this one, the rook may go rook A1, and then this rook may go with C1 or B1 or C1. This queen will go here on C7. For example, what if white would go A5? And then you have your rook B8 or queen C7 protecting the B6 pawn. So, you may use this one for white and black. This is good to use.